Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. So this week I'm going to be talking about something that's a little bit different. So I'm going to be talking about machine learning and a model that is under machine learning, just a little bit about how it works. So I'm not going to go super in-depth because it's really complicated. So I'm going to try to make it a bit more common, so like everyone can understand kind of thing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video and yeah. So to start off, machine learning can actually be seen as a part of artificial intelligence, and it's basically the study of computer algorithms, and then through the study of data, through the processing, through experience, the computer sort of learns by itself to improve its outputs or predictions or whatever it might be. So machine learning can apply to all sorts of things, be it genes, trading, all kinds of different fields. But when it comes to trading mainly, machine learning basically can be used to assess previous market prices, the patterns of charts and so on, and from there it can, like, that data can be used to inform the machine of like future predictions in the market, and through experience it can sort of teach itself to improve its predictions. So this is a pretty interesting thing, and I guess it's considered pretty new. And what's great about machine learning is that your trades are then free of like human emotions or like a lack of discipline or just like human errors, biases and so on. Because when you're trading, let's say with like fundamental or technical analysis just by itself, then sometimes maybe you can be prone to, making certain sort of decisions that are based on your own emotions or judgments and things like that. But when it comes to machine learning, a lot of things are simplified because you are just trading based on the machine's previous data and how it predicts the later information. So the machine learning model that I'm going to be talking about today is called LSTM, or long short-term memory. So LSTM, basically what's important about LSTM, what is important to know is that it is especially strong in sequence predictions. So what it can do, it's basically a model, and what it can do is that it, like I mentioned earlier, it can use previous price, so market prices, market trends and so on. It can use that information to then inform its later predictions of the market directions, how it's going to move, how the price is going to move and so on. So this LSTM model is also using the same interface as AlphaGo, and AlphaGo is basically a computer program that is designed to play the game Go. So I'm sure you guys have heard of the game, or at least you guys might have seen the game. So Go was actually a board game. It was from China, and it was created about maybe 3,000 years ago. So this game is really interesting. So how it works is basically you have a board, so it's like a board game, right? So you have a board and it's a 19 times 19 board, so you have like checkers, and then on the board you start off empty, and then your goal is sort of you have black and white pieces, so you have two people playing, you have black and white, and your goal of the game is to sort of get your own territory in the board and things like that. So I'm not going to go super in-depth into the details, but how it works is basically you have two people playing a game, and each of the players want to conquer the board, right? So you have a 19 times 19 matrix, and then what AlphaGo does with its program is that it separates the two black and white pieces into two different boards. So here you have a 19 times 19 board, here you have another 19 times 19 board, and then here you have all the black pieces in the game and you have all the white pieces. So like I said, you start off with nothing on the board and you slowly move your way into it, right? So let's say we have 19 times 19 here, 19 times 19 here. So when there's a piece, when there's a black piece on the board, then the machine, basically the output is 1. But when there's nothing there, then it's a 0, and same goes for the white. So then as the game progresses, what's good about AlphaGo is that it can store up to 7 previous board patterns. So let's say we already made our 10th move in the game. So the previous 7 moves before that will all be in the program itself. And then so you have 7 and plus the current board structure, which is the 8 board structure. So you have a total of 8 black and 8 white, which combines to form 8 plus 8, 16, right? So you have a 19 times 19 times 16 matrix. I know this sounds super confusing, but what you need to know is basically they just put all this data into a neural network, and then through processing it, you will get an output. So the output of the neural network basically indicates 2 main things. It comes up with 2 different networks. The first one being the policy network. So what the policy network is telling you is firstly all your possible movements in the next step. So what, like let's say I'm white, so the output will tell me like what sort of moves I can make in my next step, and then it can also tell me what move I can make to have the highest chance of winning the game. So that is the policy network. And then the second one is the value network. So this one is basically just telling you what are your odds of winning the game overall. So it gives you a number from 0 to 1, which is basically like 0 to 100%. How many percent chance do you have in winning the game? And what's great about AlphaGo is that, like I mentioned before, in machine learning, it has the ability to learn from its previous mistakes. So AlphaGo, once it was created, it was just made to play with itself. So it'll play Go with itself, and through each game, it sort of learns from its mistakes, and it learns how to better predict the chances, the sort of moves that you can make, because there are so many possible ways of making a move in the game. The more the machine plays it, the more the program plays it, the better it gets at the game. So what's amazing, what I find amazing, is that it learns from every single one of its mistakes, and it just keeps improving. Like, imagine if a human could just learn from all of their mistakes, you know, like they'll become perfect, right? So that's what happened to the AlphaGo computer program. It basically just learned from all its mistakes, and now I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the world champion of Go, like the game Go. So yeah, so that's the sort of idea that is used in this AlphaGo program, and the same kind of thing is applied to, say, the LSTM model. It's using the same sort of interface. So basically what's important here is, like, the key thing here is reinforcement learning, which is what I just described earlier. So the fact that the program has the ability to learn from its previous data and then apply it to its future predictions basically makes it sort of like a robot. I mean, it is a robot, but it's like a genius robot, you know? So in LSTM, the same thing goes where it learns from previous market prices, patterns, and so on, and through its previous predictions, it sort of learns like, okay, how can I predict my prices in the future, and it sort of refines the predictions that it comes up with. So that is reinforcement learning, and when applied to trading, it basically provides you with output that has greater accuracy in terms of its predictions and so on. So like I mentioned earlier, LSTM is just one of the models under machine learning. There are a lot of different types of models, even in trading itself. And yeah, it's just a new way of looking at trading apart from like the traditional like fundamental and technical analysis. So this is sort of a new way to approach trading. It's a new way to understand things, especially if you're not very if you're not very exposed to finance, market, stock prices, all that kind of things. Like, you might find it hard to get into it at first. So machine learning can be like an easier way to get into trading. So yeah, I hope that this video was sort of helpful in explaining the basic idea of machine learning. I didn't really go very in-depth into all the technical stuff, all the codes and things, because I don't know it myself. But yeah, so I hope that this is helpful to you to understand what machine learning is, and do remember to like, share, subscribe, and let me know if you prefer this sort of content. So yeah, thank you, bye!